My big five are the core of my bag. After that, most items are tools or specialty items. So, like my knife and all that other good stuff, the knife, some of the other junk that I've got in there. Redundancy, some redundancies are good. I have several ways to make fire and create potable water. That's drinkable water. I have 3 ways to make fire: a big lighter, a ferro rod, and a Fresnel lens. Plus, I can also do a bow drill kit if I have to as a last resort. Trust me, last resort, because it's not easy. But I've also got 3 ways to make potable water, drinkable water. Boiling in the titanium cup I've got in the bag, the Katadyn water purification tablets, and the Sawyer mini water filter. And I've used all of those just to practice with it, because it seems like it's easy, but you never know. You might find a better way to do it, or you might find a hole in your plan that wasn't seen originally. Now, back in the day, I did carry a stainless steel single-walled water bottle, because I figured you can both boil water in it and carry water as well. But I finally just dropped the cash and got a nice titanium cup. That was a hard, because you're thinking, $45-50 for a titanium cup. But man, I love that thing. It's light and it's durable, and I mean, it works really well. But you combine that lightweight titanium cup with the Fiji water bottle, which weighs less than Nalgene, and you save quite a bit of weight there. Not a huge amount. I've always carried Nalgene bottles up until 6 months ago. They are heavy. I mean, they're tough. They're tough as nails. But it comes to the point where I don't need a bottle that tough, and the Nalgene doesn't work with the Sawyer mini bottle or the Sawyer mini water filter. So going to the Fiji with the standard threads on it, that was a good thing for me. Let's see, food. I do keep a little bit of food in my bag. I need to resupply it from where I went through some of it the other day. And that's just, if you're out, like sometimes I get out, might be working on the farm or something. I really don't want to, I'm making good progress doing whatever I'm doing, whatever project I'm working on or task, and I don't want to really leave. I'm hungry. I just want something small, to get some energy, and I'll grab, a Cliff Bar or whatever else I've got stuffed in there. And I normally just I just resupply out of a Walgreens or a Weigels or some kind of gas station. That's usually just where I'll refill whatever I use. But just make sure that the food is packaged well. Some of the stuff doesn't survive a week or two in my bag. That's because the bag gets thrown around, gets friction, and a lot of the thin plastic wrappers can rupture or break and dump crap everywhere. So if the food item you get and they're going to use in your bag, if it's not a very strong wrapper, you think it might fail, plan on repackaging it just with a Ziploc bag or something. The trail mixes are my favorite item. I think you saw that in the last one. I had some Planters trail mix. I love those. I love the ones with the fruit and everything in it. But and it's got a really good, strong packaging, really thick packaging. And I normally get those at just like gas stations or Walgreens, CVS, pharmacy. I know they've got them in their snack section. Those have a really heavy duty bag, and the trail mixes, the nuts and stuff like that, they've got a lot of calories in them. I mean, you can get a lot of bang for your buck out of those calories. And that's, whenever we're talking about emergency situation, that is the name of the game. How much calories can I fit in there? Because that's what you're going to be needing. So I really like those. I try to stay away from the ones with those. My favorite Planters trail mix is the one with M&Ms in it. It's my favorite. But during the summer, and it gets hot, those little M&Ms bust open, and it just turns into this just hodgepodge of melted chocolate and nuts. It gets kind of ooey gooey. So just look out for that if you're going to keep that in there during the summer. Cliff Bar's beef jerky is a great one. It's usually packaged very well, and it'll last a year or two or whatever they say. Nuts, hard candies, different stuff like that. I like to keep a little bit of candy in there just to kind of, look for high calorie stuff that won't go bad quickly. And most of your power bars and stuff like that, they've usually got a year shelf life, and I've already went through them, or one of my boys has went through them by that time. You know, no problem. I always keep some sort of drink mix in the bag, a drink powder mix. I've been known to drink a lot of water and not eat. That's me. I'll get so focused on what I'm doing, and I'll just continually drink water. And one of my last big range days I was on, that's what I was doing. I didn't eat. I was drinking a lot of water. It was super hot, and I went downhill quick. So I'm known for that. So I carry the Gatorade powder because it's got all the electrolytes and stuff in it. Plus it's got some calories. So there are these little miniature Ziploc bags that can be found at most pharmacies, and I think they've got one. I'll show you two things, but they're normally next to the pill cutters. Like I know I get mine at Walgreens. I know where they're at. They're next to the pill cutters, and they're used to store like individual prescription medications. And I use mine just for like that's the ibuprofen, the Excedrin, and the Tylenol. And this brand is Easy Dose, Easy Wide Dose. That's fitting. Pill pouch. And it's got where, you know, you can put, you know, the day, AM, PM once, but I don't worry about that. And it's just little, you know, it might hold 1.5 ounces, maybe 2 ounces of fluid, but they're not for that. But, you know, I've got quite a bit of just over-the-counter stuff. And I always like to keep this on there because, you know, you get migraines or something. It's always handy to have these. So, there's some other stuff in here that I didn't really show in the video. And this kind of goes along with the next thing. I'm going to kind of jump around now. Look for dead space. Dead space. If you find some dead space, put stuff in it to take advantage of it, to create more space elsewhere. Like I had inside of my glasses case here, I had this whole open area where there was nothing there. So I took some of the smaller stuff out of this little Coughlin's Ditty bag, and I stuffed it in here. I mean, there's like a little thing of Gorilla Tape, 1-inch Gorilla Tape. Here's a single-use water gel hand sanitizer, just a little single-use pack, because I don't really need to carry a whole bottle. I just need a little pack. There's here. I was telling you about the straws. They're the I can't remember. They're the giant pixie stick straws. They're pretty hard to. I mean, they were hard to find for me. I couldn't find them. I finally found them in a Dollar General store. And I gave the pixie junk out of it to my kids, and I used the straws. Now you can take a pair of pliers, a pair of forceps, and just, you know, seal one end with a lighter, let it dry or let it cool down, and then put whatever you want to on the other end, and then do the same thing and seal it. And that's held up pretty well. And what I've got in here is Dawn soap, just like dishwashing soap. And the reason I carry this is because I'm allergic to poison ivy, and I've been out in situations where I might be at some of our vacation property, and I like to get out and run around the woods a little bit, and I might get into some poison ivy. Dawn soap is a really good grease cutter, and this stuff is what I found the best to get that poison ivy oil, because that's what causes the breakout, is the oil from the plant. I found that this stuff is the best to break that oil up and get it out of the skin. Use cold water to close your pores up, and use this stuff and scrub vigorously. That's why I've got this in here, and it doesn't weigh that much. But that's Dawn soap. There might be a little under a ½ ounce in there. You can always cut a longer section of straw and put more in there if you need it. And this doesn't have to be just Dawn soap. It could be anything. Like I've got, you know, there's some Stacker energy pills that I packaged up a long time ago. They're inside of one of those straws. And that's a lot smaller and more compact than the factory packaging that came in. I've got, there's a little bottle of oil. And this is one of those things that can probably come out. It's a little small sample bottle of Corrosion X, and it's just like an oil or whatever you can put on a gun or something if you need to, or, you know, it probably needs to be thrown out. But, yeah, there's that. And another little cool thing I was going to show you. If you've got any prescription medication, Nalgene makes these little packs right here. This is I think it's a ½ ounce, I'm not sure. It's really small. This little Nalgene bottle is really good for prescription medication, and you know, just pop top, you know, seals it up. Really cool. They come in the ones I bought these at REI. They come in a pack of several different sizes and shapes. They're really nice, really high quality, and you just stick, if it's prescription, make sure you put a copy of the prescription in there with it, because in case you get stopped by the police and they happen to find it, they don't charge you with legend drugs. So let's see. Also in those kits, those Nalgene small bottle kits, they have these heavy duty Ziploc bags that go with these. They're all right, but I wouldn't trust them around large bodies of water. If there's a chance that it's going to get wet, don't trust them, because they like to pop their seals. They don't seal them very well. So, just a heads up. Okay, I think that's about it, about wrap it up. Down here, just a final note. If you have a family, they also benefit from you carrying this bag. And one of the things that my family's benefited from in this bag is, number one, the first aid kit. I've used it a lot to patch up, you know, scrapes, cuts, breaks, not breaks, but, you know, breaks of the skin, lacerations, whatnot. There's some little individual packets of medication in there. They can use that too if I'm short on that. But another one is the winter clothing. You know, a lot of kids don't really, you know, it's warm during the day and colder at night. They come out of the house in shorts and a t-shirt, and then later on that night it drops down to 45 degrees, and they want to stay out and play, and they can't because they're freezing to death. Well, then, you know, you've got extra clothes. Let's see, what else? You know, tape for repairing tarps, tents, and jackets, the needle and floss for sewing up rips or replacing buttons. Sky's the limit, you know. But this, you know, this is just my tips and tricks, and I'm sorry this has went on so long. I've kind of taken some time throughout the day to write stuff down that, you know, when it comes to me. And this is not all of the stuff that I've learned. This is just the stuff that I could come up with, that I could think of off the top of my head throughout the day, and I wrote it down here just so I could keep some structure. But guys, I hope you have enjoyed this. Like I said, I apologize if this ran off too long. I wanted to make it as in-depth and as useful as possible for those that are maybe looking to better their bag, whatever bag they want to call it, whatever they're carrying, if they're carrying it all. Or maybe if you're thinking about carrying a bag to become better prepared for other situations, then this may help you avoid some of the problems and some of the mistakes that I've made with the bag. This has been Go Bag Installment 4. I think the next one and the final one will be Go Bag 5, and that's where I'll tell some stories about when the Go Bag has came in handy for just, you know, in general, you know, just general situations where this bag has not really saved a life, but it's been there, and it was very useful, and very thankful that I had it. So anyway, guys, like I said, if you found this helpful, like, share, subscribe, comments, questions, or anything. If you got a question about any of this stuff, some of the stuff I've talked about, if you want me to expand on it a little bit, just post something down below, and I don't care.